أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين. And of the people are some who say, we believe in Allah and the last day, but they are not believers. Ayah number 8, Surah Al-Baqarah. From here onward, the third group has been mentioned, and this group is known as munafiqun, hypocrites. And so in Surah Fatiha we did the three groups. One of them were an'amta alayhim, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done favor on, and that was mentioned first in Surah Baqarah, in the next surah. Hudal lil muttaqin, basically muttaqin are those people who take benefit from the Quran. Number two are innal ladhina kafaru sawa'un alayhim. These are maghdub alayhim, those people who have earned the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we mentioned they learn kufr because of their inad, because of their ego, because they think they are above the Quran. Even though they know it, they understand the reality, but they still do kufr on it. So after knowledge, they reject it. That's another one. And the last one, the ulama say that these are walad dalin, because later on we will be able to study that these are those people who ishtaraw dalalata bil huda, dalal. So they buy the misguidance over the guidance. So they exchange that. So that's why they are known as walad dalin basically. So this is walad dalin group. So the three groups that were mentioned are beautifully linked to the three groups that have been mentioned in Surah Baqarah. So Fatiha and Baqarah are linked in that fashion. So that's one. Now from here, ayah number 8 till ayah number 14, in here the munafiqun are mentioned, as well as they're mentioned, their traits are given. If they are found in certain individuals, the more they are found in them, the more they have the signs of a munafiq. But of course we do not have the authority to label someone munafiq, because this is all happening internally. So this is not in our hand. So this is just the summary of what's happening. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions these traits of these munafiqun in various different places, like the one we were reciting just now in Surah Tawbah. Here the munafiqun were mentioned as well, but it's like why this has been mentioned in here. The ulama gives the reasons that when there is a specific sabab, specific reason, because of that some munafiqun react, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions their traits. So in here the Quran has come to Medina, and the people are implementing Quran in their lives, so people react to it. So their reaction has been captured in these few ayats that we're going to be studying. Now in Surah Tawbah that we were reading earlier, this is happening after Tabuk, one of the battle, and their reaction at that time in that battle. Same, there will be other places that will be their reaction and their behavior of Badr and so on. So this is basically the background when you hear that this is the trait of a munafiq that Allah mentioned in this place, in this place, in this place. It does not mean Allah is repeating things. There is a specific reason and their reaction have been mentioned. So this was another point. Now in this ayah that we are studying, we said there are, I'm not sure if we said, there are 15 signs in these few ayahs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning about these hypocrites, 15 different signs. The first sign that Allah mentioned is in this ayah. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. So they do not have iman, but they are claiming they have iman. So by their tongue, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in a different place, مِنَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا آمَنَّا بِأَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ قُلُوبُهُم. To nearest meaning, they say with their tongue they believe, but their hearts do not believe. So this is basically one of their signs, the hypocrites. What is a munafiq? We have already mentioned this previously. A munafiq is a person who is on two boats at the same time. So if something goes bad in one side, so he runs to the other, and he jumps around in this kind of situation. And we mentioned the Arabs give it to a lizard hole, nafiqa. It has two sides, yeah. So if they are getting catch from one side, they will run to the other side. So they have these two different exits. From one is attack, for other escapes. So same thing, this hypocrite. He is good with the Muslims and he is good with the enemy. So if the Muslims are going through some sort of difficult times, they will leave them to a side and he will go to the criminals. And they will say soft words to the criminals, and they will be like jumping around these two boats. So they want to have some sort of safety. Basically they are kuffar, they are criminals, they are deniers, they are disbelievers, but they are cowardly. They are not the one who can stand on one side. Yeah, so they are kind of kuffar, they are with kuffar, but they cannot show it with their reasonings. And now that leads to another point, because not every munafiq is a kafir. They are known as fasiq. There are two types. It comes in a tafseer and he beautifully explains it. He says, An-nifaq huwa idharul khair wa israrul shar. This meaning, the nifaq is something that they show the goodness, but they hide the evil, the shar. They hide this. This is what a nifaq is. And wa huwa anwa', and it has different types. Number one, i'tiqadiyun, so which is related to the creed. This is وَهُوَ الَّذِي يَخْلُدُ صَاحِبُهُ فِي النَّارِ. Whoever has this, meaning They do not believe internally, they do not have the creed that there is Allah, there is Qiyamah, Quran, Rasul, and so on. They do not believe in this. These people are eternally going to Jahannam. So this is one. Another one, وَعَمَلِيٌّ وَهُوَ مِنْ أَكْبَرِ الذُّنُوبِ. And there is a munafiq who is munafiq by action. He has creed, he believes in Allah, he believes in Qiyamah, he believes in Quran, he believes in Rasul, but his actions are wrong. So he is like, it comes in a hadith, yeah? Allah, Rasul gives the different traits of these munafiq. Of them, that the guy is a liar, the guy who breaks the promise, who is vulgar in his language. So these are a munafiq, they have the signs of munafiq, but this is known al-mu'min al-fasiq. Mu'min al-fasiq. It is a mu'min who is a sinner, a vicious sinner, but he is still known a munafiq. Now, in the munafiq which is related to creed, there are two types as well. I will start with this and then later on we'll go to the ayats, because this is important. When we say munafiq, you need to be able to understand. Not everyone on the street is a munafiq, so we need to understand. In the creed, there are two types as well. There are those people who have illness in their heart. So they're saying these people are right and these people are right. And this happened when Rasulullah migrated to Medina. There were people in Mecca who had this kind of situation. They had the illness in their heart. They said these people are right, they have something good, and Rasul has something good, and they have something goodness. So this is marad. And this comes later on in Surah Tawbah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings ayah, وَإِذَا مَا أُنزِلَ سُورَةٌ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ أَيُّكُمْ زَادُ هَذِهِ إِيمَانًا وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَتْهُمْ رِجْسًا إِلَىٰ رِجْسِهِمْ. Those people who have illness in their heart. Okay, this is related to the munafiq who has illness in the creed. And now there are other people who are only saying by tongue, just saying by tongue that they are Muslim. In reality, they do not believe whatsoever that there is Allah, or there is Quran, or there is Rasul, or Prophet, and so on. So they do not believe in that. But the only is just a lip service. And you'll find this in this country. In these people, you will see people who revert to Islam. And they only revert for a purpose. They will say to you in your tongue, they believe in Quran, this amazing, Islam is amazing, this and this and this. But their purpose is different. They have come to spy. They have come to cause some sort of corruption. They have come for different purposes than the actual iman that they have in their heart. So you'll find these people. We're not saying everyone who reverts to Islam, they're sometimes far more better than the Muslim who are known as a Muslim for years. We're not saying this, but we are saying that there are people, and these are that kind of munafiq, who only revert to Islam, or who only does stay around the Muslims. You will be able to see some people who study in university and things like that. They have lost their iman, but they want to stay. They want to say their name is still Abdul Rahman, Abdullah, Hamid, and Mahmoud, and they still come to masjid because they don't want their parents to find out that this guy has become an atheist. He does not believe it anymore. So this is that kind of a munafiq. I hope this point makes sense. Now, lastly, and then we'll finish. We cannot start the ayah because it requires, there are some amazing ayats in there. But this is important that we understand how nifaq started, how munafiq people started. When you see in the Quran, there will be mention of munafiqeen only in Madani surahs. This is the sifa of a Madani surah that was revealed in Medina. And when Rasulullah migrated to Medina, what was happening at the time, there was a new change in the government. People wanted to make a leader. And there was one guy whose name was Abdullah bin Ubay ibn Salul, something like this meaning. He was about to be appointed the leader. He was about to be king. He was from a tribe who was known Khazraj. This was the biggest of the tribe at the time, and he had the biggest of county basically. So he was automatically going to become the king. But when Rasul migrated to Medina, all his plan changed, because now people wanted Rasul to be the leader. He wanted him to be the king of this new state. But Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, now he has this special hatred against Rasul. So he's kafir initially, but after Badr, when Badr happens, when this battle happens, this guy completely changed his situation. He cannot resist Rasul because of fear, because he has now power, because now he has a saying, he has a status in everyone's eyes, including the Makkans. They are scared as well. So now he cannot say anything to stand up. So because of the cowardness, he says, he just joins in basically. So he cannot stand up by himself. And now there are other people in Medina who are part of Abdullah ibn Salul, is because of what they see is Rasul is giving from the ghanima, the war-bound booty to people, and he is not keeping everything like how it used to happen in Jahiliyyah. The leader keeps everything and he only gives specific people. He was giving it to everyone. So people became Muslim so they could receive some sort of benefit from Rasul. So that was another type of hypocrites. So this is what's happening. Now lastly, before we finish off, these people are such vicious and such dangerous things that there are no worse than a kafir than a munafiq. The worst to a Muslim, even to a state, because we don't know what's happening. They work within us and they destroy us within. So this is a war against people who we don't recognize, and no one knows. Even Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he did not know who were munafiqs. Allah brings this their example. Allah says in the Quran, وَمِنْ حَوْلَكُمْ وَمِمَّنْ حَوْلَكُمْ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ مُنَافِقُونَ وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ مَرَدُوا عَلَى النِّفَاقِ لَا تَعْلَمُهُمْ نَحْنُ نَعْلَمُهُمْ. That there are people around you from Arab, from the Bedouins, that they are munafiq. You don't know them who they are, but Allah knows them. So Rasul doesn't know who they are. So same thing, these are a very evil criminals, some vicious things that's out there. However, because of the name of a Muslim, because of the name of Islam, because of the name of the Quran, even if they are known that these people are hypocrites, they're not Muslims basically, they're hypocrites. Even if this in the Islamic state, you're not allowed to have a war against them. This is how Allah has given protection to Islam, because people outside will think that these people are killing their own people. So qital against munafiqs are forbidden, it's not allowed. However, if they are in Dar al-Harb, which is a different situation, you can have fight with. So the reason I'm mentioning this point is because these people are within us, and they are continuous within us, and they are the worst of the people. However, because of the honor of Islam, because of the honor of the Muslim name, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects. He even allows these people, even if they say with their tongue that they're Muslim, they continuously say doing whatever they're doing, but they say with their tongue they're Muslim, they are safeguarded in that fashion in this dunya. Whatever the situation is in akhirah, it's a different situation. Now, lastly, what do we take benefit out from this ayah? Because we don't study the Quran, because it was revealed in the past and what was happening in the time of Rasul and so on. What benefit do we take out from here? It's simple. You do not go on people's tongue, what they are saying, what kind of speeches they are giving, or what positive or negative is coming out of their people. People do not become our role models. We take benefit from people, from their goodness, but we leave the evil with them. Because you see these people who were in time of Rasul, especially Abdul ibn Rasul, this guy had a reputation. So you see on the media people saying whatever they are saying, let them say whatever they say. Or you see the people who say they were Muslim and now they have left Islam, they become ex-Muslim and so on, and they're saying all sorts of rubbish that's coming out from their heart, from their tongue. So no, this was the situation. They never accepted Islam, they never had Islam. So the basic concept that we take out from here, that you do not lose confidence in your Iman, you do not lose confidence in your Islam and Quran because of what people are saying. The people do not become role models. Whoever says whatever they say, as long as he meets this Quran, as long as he meets the ayats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter who they are, we will hold it on. And if they are the best of the people, the role models of the society, whatever they are known, but they are saying something which is against the Quran, against the Sunnah, it does not have anything to do with Islam, and they are free to do whatever they need to do with their own lives. Wallahu a'lam. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.